All right, everybody, let's spin this wheel again. Wonder how far into 2023 we'll be before I run out of the games that I picked up this summer. Ooh, this one I've been excited about because people tell me that this one is a competitor with the Alien Breed trilogy for potentially the greatest isometric shooter of all time. If I'm thinking of the right game, I believe I am. Anyway, let's find out. Okay, so let's talk about the Ascent, which comes to us from Neon Giant. This is their only offering on Steam, and it's published by Curve Games, who gave us things like Human Fall Flat, For the King, things like that. So this is different even from what Curve Games normally offers. I will tell you right away, obvious comparison that must be made is obviously we got to be talking about the Alien Breed trilogy. Because obviously the Alien Breed trilogy, I have said before, those are the very best isometric shooty shoots of all time. Like, you want isometric, you want shooty McShoot, well, there you go. That's the isometric shooty shoot that is the best of all the things. Guess who just threw their hat into the ring? It's the Ascent. Because holy cow, wow, wowie wow wow. First of all, okay, there's a thing that I've always loved, if you can work it into a video game, because of my own personal views of how badly we need a new American labor movement. Today is Labor Day. I'm recording this on Labor Day. Why do we have a Labor Day? Because the American labor movement said, hey, stop exploiting your workers. And guess what's worse now than it's been since the American labor movement got started is the wholesale exploitation of the American worker. It's for real. Like, rich people getting richer, poor people staying poor, getting poor, dollar stretches less far, and things just suck worse for poor people than they did 10, 20, 30 years ago. And so, like, we need a new American labor movement, be that as it may. Like, workers' uprisings and, like, that sort of a feel, it gets me. Like, it hits a special spot. So, you know, things like what's that? Red Faction. That's the one. The original Red Faction. The other Red Faction games got away from the first Red Faction. You start out, you're in a mine on Mars, and you shoot the boss man, and then you're off and running. Like, it's insurrection time. The laboring man rises up against the ruling classes and takes what's his. That sentiment resonates with me. In the Ascent, what you have is this dystopian world in which you are essentially a slave to this corporation, and you're an indentured servant. But if you know the indentured servitude, it might as well be slavery. Like, it's basically slavery. So environmentally, before we get to environmentally, I'm thinking about things about this game that I already love. So things that I love, first of all, is the way the world is set up. Like, you are indentured to this corporation. They see you as expendable. They kind of don't care if you live or die. And you are this augmented human who is augmented so that you can, do the work of this evil corporation that you work for, that you are indentured to, that you are basically a a lowly slave to. And yet, like, they give you weapons and whatnot, because what's happening is down here in the lower levels where you start out, there are robots that are working, that are just trying to get their work done, which is funny because you can push those guys around. They will run away if you start shooting. And they will run away like when a firefight breaks out, because some of these things have gone rogue, and the ones that have gone rogue will come after you, and it is you versus them, kill or be killed, and there you go. And so it does the whole like isometric laser sight that I love so much from Alien Breed. Like, why are there not more isometric shooters like this? They're so fun. They are so fun. And you can create a really, really great game that is not as intense on the graphics card, and then therefore could be played on anything, Nintendo Switch, for example, which is always, like a little bit behind in terms of graphics capability, and people complain that on some of the like higher end shooters and whatnot, oh, laggy McLaggerson on the Switch. Why don't we get better shooty games that work better? Well, you would get better games that work better if you make games that play better without taxing the system resources as much. And isometric shooters, exactly that. And the Ascent graphically is, I have to admit, it is a step above my beloved Alien Breed trilogy. Like, it's newer and therefore better, better looking, better graphics, bigger installs. So you'd expect better graphics, and indeed you get better graphics. And the environmentally, that's one of the things that I love about Alien Breed. First of all, let me just say this. Because when I tell people that I don't enjoy survival horror games, because I don't. I really, really don't. And people just make the assumption that like, oh, well then you must not enjoy like creepy environments and, scary jump scares and whatnot. Like, no, that's not the problem that I have. The problem that I have is that, survival horror games are, in their very design, they make you run away. You have to run away because they, survival horror always operates on limited resources. And so, like, you've got limited resources. There are things that you can't do. And so instead of, if you had enough bullets, then you would be able to destroy the enemy, but you'd never have enough bullets, and so half the time you just have to run away. And I hate that. And in this game, all of the loot repopulates, the regular stuff, like, chests that you open to get some of the premium pieces and whatnot, those do not regenerate. But the breakable boxes that just have ammo in them most of the time, those respawn almost immediately. As soon as you leave an area, if you come back to that area, boom, loot is right back. And so there's never a need in this game to go hunting for ammo. Like, ammo, you got it. You got the ammo that you need. It's just a question of, can you circle strafe? Can you, like, effectively make use of the environment? And get to cover and hide yourself in such a way that you're not going to get completely destroyed by the enemy when they come after you, because they will. They absolutely will. And so, like, I just love how the game balances, like, no, we want you to shoot. Like, fire away. Like, locked and loaded, weapons free, go for it. Like, that I like. I like that a whole bunch. And so that part of it makes it so that you can focus on well, having fun and just mowing down enemies, and then also exploration in this, you know, creepy dystopian rundown thing where, like, you know, there are the thing that makes it so creepy is that there are these robots running around trying to do their job the whole time. Like, no matter what's going on around you, these guys, they're gonna try and do their job, and then, you know, they'll run away if there's significant trouble. But it really, environmentally, it feels like a perfect depiction of dystopian awesomeness. And so I was hooked. Like, I started recording the footage for this game almost like too early, I could argue. But I was hooked. I was in. And I knew that I would enjoy this game. I knew it, because when I saw that, like, oh, hey, guess what? There's a highly rated, much beloved isometric shooter, much in the vein of Alien Breed, that you haven't played on Steam. It was just a matter of, like, well, how can I get it? And why don't I buy it on the Steam sale, which I did. And yeah, obviously, good purchase. Absolutely good purchase. I love the fact that you get to design your own character. That's fun. That's really fun. And there are a lot of options for how you put that together. And then once you got your character, then you also get to RPG style max your character's stats out in various ways. Because remember, you're augmented, so you're going to be picking up different types of augmentations, and then you have, what do they call it? You have your hacking tool, you know, the part that allows you to hack. When you see a yellow dome over my character in the gameplay footage, what that is I'm looking to see if I can hack things in the environment. Now, obviously, if I were paying better attention, then I would know that, like, those things automatically tell you, like they tell you the parts of the environment that you can interact with and that you can't. And it's very good at guiding you, you know, the whole mini-map system. Love it. Love a good mini-map that shows you exactly where to go. Also, if you ever get lost, you can press a button. I believe it's O, or maybe it's Q. O gives you one of the two, and it will literally light up your path where you should go. It'll just, you know, a little series of red something particles will just fly out and show you the way that you're supposed to go, and then they'll disappear, and then you just go where you need to go. So, like, yeah, there's never a moment where you need to be lost and wandering around and, like, oh, where do I go next, and what do I do? It's all very clear, and I like that because, man, I hate it in a shooter. Like, look, there are some games where world exploration and wandering around and being like, okay, what do I do now? Like, you know, RPGs, that's the domain of wandering around and saying, what do I do now? But for a shooter, any game in which you are shooting, make shoot, more often than not, you wish you had more enemies to mow down and less wander around and explore times, because that's what you enjoy. You know, we play our different games for different reasons, and the reason why you play a game like this is because you want to shoot stuff. And, you know, exploration is secondary, shoot stuff is first. And so the fact that it does such a good job of making sure that you know exactly where to go and exactly what to do, it makes it more fun. It's just focused on the fun. That's what it is. Here, have fun, do the thing, enjoy the part of the game that you are playing this game for. And then, of course, you can work on your character build and try and, max them out in all the ways that you would like them to be maxed out. And that's all fine and good. That's all fun and amazing. But, like, yeah, it's just really cool and really fun. And I can tell that I have only scratched the surface of what this game has to offer. Like, I just know for a fact that I have barely scratched the surface of what this game has to offer. Partially because I've looked at just the gameplay footage that they have on Steam to get a sense for it, because I was looking at that when I bought it originally. And so, yeah, I know that the way that my character is built is very typical of an early character, and that there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that you can do later on. And so, like, there's so many things that come to mind when I think about comparisons to this. Obviously, the Alien Breed trilogy, but it also, like, it brings in that Red Faction feel where it's like, oh, you're a worker, you're starting from nothing, but like there's going to be uprising, there's going to be like, deciding what to do in this world and making choices, which then reminds me of, one of the all-time great sort of dystopian post-apocalyptic type of games of all time, which is Deus Ex. And so, like, if you take Alien Breed and then you take a Deus Ex and roll that all together and throw in a little bit of Red Faction just for good measure, then you've got the Ascent. And like, doesn't that sound like a really fun thing? Because I'm telling you, like, I was having so much fun playing this. And I even got to my first boss battle. Now, I will say this. The boss battle left me a little bit wanting, and I don't know if I'm going to get that boss battle footage into this review, because it would have come late in my recording, because I quit the game shortly after I completed the boss battle, and so, chances are it's probably not going to show up in there. I almost died, but I did in fact prevail against the first boss. A lot of circle strafing, a lot of, just machine gun fire against the smaller baddies to pick up the health pickups and stuff to keep myself alive, because, yeah, I kept almost dying. And I was playing this on normal mode. I wasn't playing it on easy, but I also wasn't playing it on hard. But there are the different game modes to suit your level ability. And that's all fine and good. That's nice. I like that it's not all just one size fits all gameplay experience. I would expect that from a professional product, from a, like, yes, it is independently developed. This is not a AAA title, but like, whatever. You have expectations like that, because, normally this game goes for $29.99, and there are DLCs for it and everything. But yeah, for a game at that price point, you would expect that it would have all the things, and indeed it does. As I was playing, my wife was saying, I really like the sound of it. She just enjoyed the sound design. Like, yeah, that's true. Because one of the things that makes isometric shooters work is the sound design. Because what's giving you that feel of the world, the environment, is very often, in addition to the graphics, it's also the sound design. and excellent sound design here. Really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, the only gripe that I had about this game, literally the only one, and this is like in the time that I spent playing it, which admittedly is not as not as long as I should have been playing, not as long as I could have been playing, but you know, whatever, take it for what it is. I did make it past the first boss, so at least there's that. My problem with the first boss, though, is that, and maybe this is true of all the bosses, is that there wasn't a very good death animation. Guy just exploded into a whole bunch of ammo and a couple of health pickups, and that was it. You know, and for the time that I spent circling around, trying not to die, trying not to get hit with missiles, trying not to get hit by the smaller baddies and whatnot, like, you would expect there to be a better death animation than there was. And so, yeah, that bothered me. That was the only thing, because everything else in this game is super satisfying to shoot. Super satisfying to explore the world, super satisfying to pick things up and augment your dude. Here's the only other thing that I will say, is that walking can be a little awkward. It can look a little awkward, because it doesn't always swivel nicely. You know, I'm reminded of some of the top-down shooty shoots, in which, like, you know, or some of those 90s isometric shooters where, like, you know, the top half of your body swivels, but the bottom half doesn't. Your feet are always running forward, and then your torso can just do 360s. Yeah, you know, it's not that, but it's also, I would say that Alien Breed does a better job of making sure that your character runs and moves and walks in a natural way. With this game, a lot of the strafing, you're walking in a very unnatural way, and it looks unnatural. You know, they didn't do enough to make it seem more natural to be doing what you're doing. That's it. Those are my gripes. Those, you know, better boss deaths, more better walking, the end. Aside, those are small gripes. Small gripes. Everything else, fantastic. Like, honestly and truthfully, for as much as I love the Alien Breed trilogy, I am severely tempted to chuck this one over the top. Like, I mean, seriously, even in the small amount that I've played. I need to finish beating the Alien Breed trilogy, because I haven't beat it all, and then I need to play this game all the way through, and then I'll be able to make a fair comparison. But I'm telling you, like, first blush, it's really, 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 really good. If you like this type of shooter, this is up your alley. Like I said earlier, it is normally $29.99. It is on sale for $8.99 currently. Might have been cheaper than that during the Steam summer sale. Wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, it goes on sale. It's on sale right now. And it's a fantastic game. Let me put a final score on it. Okay, so for the Ascent, I'm going 9 out of a possible 10. Alien Breed sprites. Yeah. Do I remember what score I gave Alien Breed? By the way, this is the old Alien Breed sprite that you're looking at. This is the DOS version, not the remake, not the Alien Breed Impact and Alien Breed trilogy business. I don't remember all the names of the games in the Alien Breed trilogy. There are 3 of them. One comes after the other, and they're all excellent. Anyway, and there's a whole story arc. Yeah, the interesting things happen by the third game that, like, if you play the first two, you're like, oh, that's happening now? Crazy. Like, yeah, like that. So, and if you haven't played it, then you're going to be like, I'll take your word for it, I guess. But anyway, 9 out of a possible 10 Alien Breed sprites. I had better have given Alien Breed at least that much, because the Ascent is right up there in my estimation. It's not perfect, but it is darn near perfect. Very excited to play more of this game. So, yeah, honestly, that's what you want, right? Is a game that makes you want to play more of it. And that's what I found here. Anyway, The Ascent, highly recommended, on sale now. So go ahead and pick it up if it seems like something that you like. Okay, people, that's going to do it for this one. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.